Thank you, Adrian. Well, this might not be 90 minutes that will completely define Arsenal's season, but it could go a long way towards it. And their pursuit of fourth place might ultimately shape how history regards the 21-22 campaign. But the Gunners' hopes of silverware are dependent on their success this evening, on a night when defeat will remove their last realistic hope of needing the key to the trophy cabinet. Has been a familiar story over the last decade. Success in domestic cup competitions frequently supplying a level of gloss of various thickness and texture, although seldom has the League Cup come to their rescue. Whilst FA Cup glory has been semi-regular in the 21st century, the Gunners haven't won this one since the pre-Wenger years. Now the chance to move within a victory of a trophy that hasn't been theirs in nearly 3 decades. And whilst Arsenal have been the most successful team in the history of the FA Cup, Liverpool have the mantle in the League Cup. Not that they've added to their record tally in a while. It's a decade now since the most recent of their 8 successes. Domestic cups have seldom been a high priority in Jurgen Klopp's reign, more a means to an end, but they have manoeuvred themselves into a position of strength this season. They'll feel that position should be even stronger. And now, with a numerical advantage at Anfield, failed to give them a first leg lead. So as these two cross paths for a 3rd successive season in the League Cup, it is beautifully poised. Liverpool, to the odd isolated boom, make their way out from the darkness of the tunnel onto the verdant green playing surface, joined now by their hosts Arsenal, resplendent in red shirts with white sleeves and white shorts, making their way out to the left-hand side. Run through the two teams again for you in a moment. Andy, just wanted to pick you up on that point that you made about the first goal being crucial tonight. If I could just throw a couple of statistics in there that will underline your point. Now, these are Premier League stats rather than ones in the League Cup this season. Arsenal, when they've gone a goal down in the league, haven't picked up a single point this season. Liverpool, when they score first in all competitions, 19 wins, 3 draws and no defeats.
Wow. Well, there you go, Jim. I mean, that's... And look, these are such big occasions. Semi-finals for players. Look, semi-finals for fans and everybody is so exciting. For players, it's all or nothing. I won 3 and I lost 3 in the FA Cup. You know, so I played in 3 of these finals, and I've had nights like these where it's a roller coaster ride. You have moments in the game where you think it's getting away from you, and all of a sudden something happens and you're back in front and you're back in it, and you're thinking of Wembley and everything ahead of you. You're trying to focus on the game and not get too ahead of yourself. But there's such emotional nights for everybody in here. So those stats you just reeled off there, Jim, just say everything to me, how important it is to strike first.
And if it's one of the old adages that nobody remembers a beaten semi-finalist, how does the pressure differ for a game like this than if you're at a Wembley showcase?
Because you just know that when you come away empty-handed from a semi-final, the feeling afterwards is, it's awful. Whoever loses tonight, the players, I tell you, they don't sleep tonight. They don't sleep tonight. They go home and they sit and they think about their own performance. Could they have done more? Should they have done more? What they did, what they didn't do, etc. It's awful. It's just all or nothing, these semi-finals, and particularly this competition with its 2-legged semi-finals just makes it such a spectacle. I really am genuinely excited by what we're about to see. I hope these 2 starting 11s produce a cracker. I think they're capable of it.
And these are the 11s. Ramsdale in goal for Arsenal, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tierney, Lokonga, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe and Martinelli, and Lacazette. Liverpool, Kelleher in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk and Robertson, Henderson, Fabinho and Jones, Gordon, Firmino and Jota. All 22 take the knee. The reminder, there is no room for racism. From 10-goal thrillers to static stalemates, recent Arsenal and Liverpool Cup encounters have provided a full range of spectacles that have often gone the full distance and beyond. How they get the job done tonight is largely irrelevant. Success, the be-all and end-all, with a Wembley date with Chelsea for the winner. And it is Arsenal kicking from left to right in this first half who concede an early throw. Liverpool in all yellow, defending the clock end of the ground away to our right hand side, and that's the end that the Liverpool supporters who have travelled in their prolific number are housed away to our right.
Yeah, Jim, just looking at Jurgen Klopp, hands in pockets in the technical area. Mikel Arteta, arms folded. These opening exchanges of what's going to be, I'm sure, a pretty dramatic evening. You want to play with composure, you don't want to rush, you don't want to panic, but you also have to have that little bit of urgency, that bit of tempo about your game. You don't want to be second best, get stuck in second gear. Got to make sure that you're up for it, you're ready, and that you start the game nice and brisk, nice and sharp. Make the first 2 or 3 things you do in the game good ones. Make sure your first touch is nice and neat and tidy, and that you get up to speed in this game as quick as you can.
Which that one there from Jordan Henderson wasn't. He played it in behind Joel Matip. No harm done from a Liverpool perspective, and Cameron can rescue it. Now receives the ball from Kelleher, and he plays it down towards the inside right channel for 17-year-old Cade Gordon, making only the 3rd senior start of his career tonight. Arsenal win possession back. Martinelli trying to get towards the byline. He's kept it in right down there, but Alexander-Arnold prevents an early cross coming in. Arsenal trying to find a way through, and Liverpool, despite doubling up on the Brazilian winger, concede the first corner of the night.
Just signalling his intent there, Martinelli. As soon as he picked that ball, I'm running at Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'm going to take him on. And he did just that. The Liverpool fullback got back to deny him, but they get the corner.
Those are the thoughts of former League Cup winner Andy Townsend. His first corner, right-footed in, swinging towards the near post, looking for a Ben White flick, which wasn't quite forthcoming. Liverpool clear their lines through Jones. Arsenal will get it back, though, after a slightly loose touch from Gordon. Martinelli checking, trying to get it back onto his right foot to deliver across. He's got Smith Rowe outside him. He has got it in. The deflection spins it wide, and out of play for another Arsenal corner. This one will be taken on the right flank by Saka. And it's been a good, excellent attacking start from Arsenal, with 2.5 gone at 0-0.
Yep. Also in a couple of early corners, just gets the Arsenal faithful right behind their team, which is crucial tonight, because they're going to need to pick them up and carry them for stages of this game tonight.
Saka raises his right arm above his head. Left-footed corner, swung inside that 6-yard box. Good header away from Matip, back from Ødegaard. Lacazette couldn't get the ball out from underneath his feet. Alexander-Arnold tried to clear it, and it bobbled off the nearest Arsenal player into the hands of Kevin Kelleher. And only now can Liverpool really calm things down after an intense start as far as the Gunners are concerned. 0-0 on the night and on aggregate on TalkSport.
Yeah, Liverpool, of course, we know will want to try and get Matip and Van Dijk closer to the halfway line. At the moment they're sat on the edge of their own 18-yard box. Pressure from Smith Rowe, does really well to intercept, just pinches that off Joel Matip there,
who's trying to get it out, and Arsenal then be able to work it back. Saka caught on the edge of the D by Robertson, and it's a free kick here to Arsenal. It's right of centre. It's not too far outside the box, and this is a really good opportunity for us. An electrifying start.
You know, Liverpool haven't started yet. They haven't got going at all. Arsenal are swarming all over them, all around them, forcing them into errors, forcing them into rush their passes, mistakes. And this is a really strong situation they have. They have a free kick. It's in the arc, on the edge of the Liverpool 18-yard box. We've got Ødegaard and Lacazette standing over it. Liverpool already have got Cade Gordon laying down the draft excluder in behind that wall. Heavy numbers there guarding that goal. Kevin Kelleher desperately trying to organise that wall and make sure that it's tight and it's together, but this is an opportunity, this.
Yeah, it's often the case that the junior pro is the man that is detailed to lie in that position. Welcome to the gang, young Cade Gordon. So Ødegaard might be the man that fancies his chances here on his left foot. And Lacazette stands over it as well. Liverpool got everybody back. I think they've got 7 in the wall, 1 behind it. Robertson, a runner from the left-hand side of the wall. Lacazette chips, it's hit the bar. And Liverpool survive. Robertson able to get it away. It was just a little dinked chip over the wall, and it was almost perfection. Now Tierney, kept honest by the industry of Jota, just had to make sure he got enough on it to get it back to Ramsdale. Arsenal will come forward again with Saka trying to turn it around the corner, but Lacazette is offside at 20 seconds after he came close to giving Arsenal the lead.
5 minutes in, really good start to the game. You know, that clever little free kick from Lacazette, he couldn't hit it hard because he was a little bit too close. It's not like a free kick when you're only about literally 19 yards out, just a yard outside the box. You can't really walk up to that and really whip it hard. You've got to just clip it over the wall. He did that. It was very accurate and it bounced right off the crossbar.
He scored in rounds 2 and 3 of the competition this season, Alex Lacazette. Had that gone in, it would have been some way to mark his 200th senior goal. Here's Curtis Jones bringing forward at the other end. White stopped him getting too far. Lacazette back in defensive duty. Fabinho in there strongly. Gets the better of a 50-50 with Smith Rowe, but Arsenal can bring it away. Kelleher way outside his penalty area, but he's done well for his side there. So he had enough of a head start just to throw the seeds of doubt into the mind of Martinelli after a through ball from Lokonga. And Liverpool were able to sweep up at the back. 6 minutes gone. Jim Pravill and Andy Townsend talking through the action on Talk Sport and in the United States as well. Good afternoon to you, listening to us on Sirius XM FC. Good start from Arsenal. They've already hit the bar, but we still wait for the first goal on aggregate in this time.
Yeah, Liverpool just trying to keep a bit of possession. And again, sometimes, look, the Matip and Van Dijk, the obvious recipients there, when they get the ball off the goalkeeper, they're just popping it into midfield. What you want to do is get those guys up top involved in the game as early as you can. They haven't really seen it yet, Jota, Firmino and Kay Gordon, not with an opportunity to really run at anybody. So it's all well and good keeping the ball at the back and in midfield like they are at the moment. They're rolling it from left to right, from right to left. But ultimately, when they serve it forward, it's got to stick.
Robertson in his blue boots to Jota, and then Firmino back for John Matip. Begloved tonight. What's a relatively mild January evening here in North London. Alexander-Arnold's got it now, the king of the assists. More than anybody else in the Premier League this season. More chances created as well than anyone else in the Premier League this season. But it's only defensive examinations that he's had so far tonight. He's got another one here. Well-timed challenge. Martinelli still able to emerge with a kind bounce of the ball. He's hooked it inside the penalty area. Van Dijk let it bounce almost on the line, but the referee had seen an infringement, shove, I think, from Lacazette. And it's going to be a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, it was an unnecessary foul, that. Right on the halfway line, Fabinho tried to intercept a square pass. He didn't get it, and it was 4v4. Martinelli got to the left-hand side of the 18-yard box, stood it up to the far post, and it was actually Bukayo Saka who unnecessarily just clattered into Kevin Kelleher and conceded the free kick, and of course relieves all the pressure.
Liverpool have it again. They've seen very little of the ball in Arsenal territory. They've seen very little of the ball, but what they've had has tended to be in their own final third so far. Their away record this season has been exemplary by and large. I mean, they've scored far and away more goals away from home in the Premier League than anybody else. 30 in their 11 league games. An average of almost 3 a game away from home is getting on for unparalleled in top flight history. But of course, no Salah, no Mane, and that was frequently discussed feature of the first leg, where Liverpool had a stack of opportunities and one shot on target, which came in the 92nd minute. Thoughts of shooting at the moment, just a pipe dream, because they can't get the ball. It's a throw to Arsenal here, which Tierney's going to take over on the far touchline, which is the Arsenal left. Smith Rowe diverting the ball back for Gabriel. Tomiyasu making a passing angle for him, but he's worked it the other way instead. Left-footed ball in from Tierney, knocked away by Matip, and then Gordon is able to bide the throw, calmly flicking it into Martinelli. It's a throw which will be taken on the Liverpool right-hand side. 9 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, they've started very well, Arsenal, with a genuine determination, and they're on the front foot. Every time Liverpool are trying to keep possession, when the ball does go into Henderson, Fabinho or Curtis Jones, they're snapping away. They're really snapping at the heels and working exceptionally hard to try and turn the ball over and pinch it back. They've done that very successfully so far. Arsenal really haven't had to panic too much. Ben White and Gabriel have been pretty much on the halfway line since the kickoff.
Ramsdale trying to mix it up by going long. Got such good passing radar on him, and he's found Martinelli, whose control was even better than the pass. Lokonga in towards Lacazette, back out towards Lokonga again, but Liverpool were able to bring it away, and then just as Arsenal won it back, the referee, Martin Atkinson, has again found in Liverpool's favour. It's a foul by Lacazette on Henderson, and a chance for Liverpool again just to calm things down. They're hanging in there at the moment with 10 gone.
Great skill from Martinelli. We saw a 40-yard switch out to Arsenal's left side. It looked like he had beaten Martinelli, and he pulled it out the sky before it could go out for a throw, and immediately then set Trent Alexander-Arnold up. He's had a particularly good start to the game. I just think for Liverpool, I think clip it in behind Arsenal. I think just get yourself a little bit further up the field. And again, we see Van Dijk do that so successfully. Usually when he picks the ball up with a bit of space, every now and again he'll just clip one in behind Gabriel and Tierney and ask Kay Gordon and ask perhaps Diogo Jota to get after it and chase. Just think they need to do that a little bit more, because at the moment they're trying to roll it into midfield and Arsenal are just setting the trap. They're waiting and they're pinching it very well.
Here's Matip playing it forward. The turn by Firmino, who dropped very deep. He finds Fabinho. Fabinho not enough on the ball out towards Cade Gordon to his right, and it was easily knocked away by Lokonga. And Van Dijk clears a long ball forward from the Arsenal back line, heads it away from Saka and out of play for a throw. Mikel Arteta looking very animated, way outside his technical area in his dark coat. Trying to get the instructions across to those ahead of him. He'll be thrilled though by the start at the moment. Arsenal hitting the bar, if you're just joining us, very early with a Lacazette free kick, and Arsenal dominating possession. Fabinho working it forward. Jota working it then back for Curtis Jones, and able to turn and make a run down the left hand side of the penalty area. Ben White is there with him. Jota getting towards the byline, and White just gets in the way of the cross, and now Liverpool have their first corner with 12 minutes gone at 0-0.
Yeah, so we see Van Dijk, we see Matip, Fabinho, the big guys all move forward, ease their way into Arsenal's box. And Andy Robertson it is with the ball at his feet, so it'll be an out-swinging left-footed corner. Again, don't ignore your set plays or the quality from them. They're important. If you get them right, they can work for you.
And it comes very, very deep. It's headed back and turned in by Joel Matip, but the offside flag is up. It was a very deep ball in, and then headed back in towards Matip in the far post area. I think the header was probably going wide. Matip felt that he had to turn it in, and in doing so, he's offside from Fabinho's touch, and it remains 0-0.
I tell you what, Tomiyasu did really well, because he's the deepest player, and then he makes sure he gets out of that 6-yard box. And it was a real deep corner. Fabinho put his head on it, and Joel Matip it was who steered it in, but he looked offside. Martin Atkinson's just holding play while it's checked.
And the decision was correct from the assistant referee, Con Hatzidakis, on the far touchline. Ramsdale stumbling as he gets the ball clear from the free kick, and there's some offside at the other end now against Lacazette as Saka helped it on. Well, the Cricket Collective returns on TalkSport 2 at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Former England bowler Steve Harmison and Neil Manthorpe will be building up to England's 5-match T20 series against the West Indies. That's live and exclusive on TalkSport 2. And you can listen to TalkSport 2 on your DAB via the TalkSport app, or just ask your smart speaker to play TalkSport 2. Here on TalkSport tonight, we've played 14 minutes. It's 0-0. And still goalless on aggregate. Virgil van Dijk bringing the ball forward now for Liverpool, but he ran out of room and ran out of options. He thought that Robertson was going to be much further advanced to his left, and there was no pass to play. Arsenal get possession back and quickly switch it from the right out to the left. And Martinelli, who's had a really lively start, picks up possession but goes back behind square for Gabriel. Ødegaard will go deeper inside his own half for Ben White, and Jota, hive of industry, Jones, I beg your pardon, doing well to block the ball forward. It's just come off him and goes out of play for a throw that Tomiyasu is going to take on the Arsenal right. Very entertaining stuff, but clearly Andy with a little bit closer to the most significant moment of the night, but it still lies ahead of us at the moment. It will be extra time and penalties if necessary this evening. 0-0 still the score.
Yeah, and of course we saw a very different first leg because of that Granit Xhaka red card. For Arsenal's organisation up at Anfield was excellent, but of course it affected the game, the way that the game was played. This one has started very differently. This one has started with both teams, when they get the ball, wanting to try and get forward. Arsenal certainly have looked the more likely, I think, in the opening exchanges. They've been better. They've had a little bit more controlled possession. Martinelli, as you mentioned, is going to give Trent Alexander-Arnold difficulties if he gets the ball with time and space and a bit of room to run at him. So yeah, it's been a good start to the night.
Jurgen Klopp has led Liverpool to a final in this competition before. Just the one. And the last one back in 2012, where it's all about the result in cup football, but they weren't great that day. Beat Cardiff on penalties. Haven't been great tonight either, as they try and get themselves through to the final for the first time in 6 years. 0-0 the score. 16 minutes gone on TalkSport and Sirius XM FC in the United States.
Really sloppy work from Joel Matip. Virgil van Dijk gets the ball. He plays it out plays a square ball to his fellow centre half. A little bit slow, I might add. He could have done with it, pinging it a little bit harder at Joel Matip. But the pass from the centre half out wide was awful. Went straight out for an Arsenal throw-in. Just need to sharpen up a little bit with their work, Liverpool.
Kelleher retrieving the ball, which has just gone over the dead ball line away to our right-hand side in front of those Liverpool fans. And he spots it down, takes the goal kick, finds Matip, back to the Irishman. And he takes a touch and then drives it forward with his second, some 60 yards. It's a decent back header from Jota. It evades both Jones and Saka. Robertson can pick it up for Liverpool. Now to Henderson. Matip playing it out towards the right-hand side for Cade Gordon, who started it at Norwich in the League Cup at the start of this particular cup run for Liverpool, and scored against Shrewsbury in the FA Cup 10 days or so ago. Back from Matip. Now to Henderson again. Liverpool just happy to get a touch of the ball at the moment and the feel of it, as Matip will bring it towards the edge of the centre circle. Back from him to Van Dijk. Long, lofted ball out towards Gordon, who's not tall enough to be able to deal with that. He got his head to it, but that's all he could do to get his head to it. It couldn't be a decent touch. It's just gone straight into the Arsenal fans behind him and out for a throw.
What you do see, Jim, tonight is, I think, the effect when you don't play with Mo Salah and Sadio Mane. The Arsenal back line, they are squeezing Jota, they're squeezing Cade Gordon. Of course, Roberto Firmino's not quick. They're really squeezing those guys up onto the halfway line. When it's Salah, when it's Mane, you're always mindful of all that ground in behind defence. They can punish you because they're so fast and so dangerous. But Arsenal's intent so far tonight is to squeeze those forwards back the way and get up on that halfway line.
Well, Gordon has a reputation of being quick, but he's really hugging the right-hand touchline at the moment. How do they counter that? Can they get Jones or somebody to make those advance runs?
I do think that Cade Gordon, when Van Dijk in particular gets it, to make a run, make that run, make his mind up. You know, sometimes when you got the ball at your feet and you're looking up and people are looking back at you without moving, of course you end up then going square or going backwards because you don't want to give the ball away. Every now and again, a wide man, that's your job. You want to have it to feet, but also you can come to feet, then quickly spin and turn and look for something in behind the fullback, and no better man than Van Dijk to find you.
Well, reaction tonight after this game on the sports bar here on TalkSport as Jota brings it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. This is much better from Liverpool. He gets the shot in. Oh, it's crept in. Just seemed a wrong foot, Aaron Ramsdale. And Liverpool, with their first meaningful attack of the game, have the lead. Diogo Jota, in the absence of the big hitters playing in the African Cup of Nations. No Salah, no Mane, no problem. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1.
It's brilliant work from Diogo Jota, it really is. Because that goal comes out of nothing, absolutely. You know, and it's a real sort of tame shot in the end that rolls past Aaron Ramsdale because the goalkeeper can't see it. There's 3 red and white shirts around the ball, but none of them get close enough to prevent Diogo Jota from roughly the edge of the box from hitting a shot that's on target, no pace in it at all, and it literally crawls over the line, but it's really good work from him. Excellent goal from Liverpool. Started with Trent Alexander-Arnold moving from that right-back position into a central midfield slot, picked the ball up, fed Jota on the left, and he went and did the rest.
Well, he scored against Arsenal at Anfield in the Premier League. He got a couple in the league here last season, and he scores in this fixture again. And he hit it badly enough to beat Ramsdale, which I know sounds a stupid thing to say, but had he hit it with more conviction, it would have been an easier save to make. It's the lack of pace that he's just scuffed it that has completely deceived the goalkeeper, who, to be fair to him, was unsided, as Andy detailed, with 3 Arsenal players trying to close Jota down. Now, in terms of away goals, they don't count anymore in the League Cup, so it's not 2 to win for Arsenal from here. But Liverpool have a lead to protect, and we were talking about, 25 minutes ago. Liverpool's record this season when they go a goal up has been exemplary. Arsenal, against Premier League opposition in the league this season, have lost all 4 in which they have conceded first. So there's work to do for Arteta's Gunners, who've been the better side in 21 minutes, but trail by a goal to 0.
Yeah, and this is that roller coaster ride that I'm talking about, which is semi-finals, particularly the second leg of a semi-final. Everyone coming here tonight fancying their chances. The Arsenal faithful felt after last week's game that their team were going to get the job done tonight. Well, they started really well. Now they've just had a massive setback. It hurts. They started really brightly, have had the better of it, but one good opportunity. And Diogo Jota, who's so important, so crucial to this Liverpool team, punishes them.
Tomiyasu will bring the ball forward here for Arsenal. Saka on the edge of the penalty area. On his left foot. Just takes it back towards Ødegaard in a deeper position than of late, alongside Lokonga in the heart of the midfield. And just to give Smith Rowe a little bit more licence to push forward. Essentially, it is a 4-1-4-1 that Arsenal are playing. Ramsdale with a long ball forward. Robertson can head that away. Tomiyasu into the feet of Smith Rowe. Ødegaard back for White, over the top towards Saka, who will chase after it but couldn't keep it in, and it goes out for a throw that'll be taken on the Liverpool right-hand side. Your chance to react, as I mentioned earlier, on the Sports Bar tonight, after this game here on TalkSport, and tomorrow morning, Alan Brazil, Ray Parlour and Trevor Sinclair will also have their thoughts on everything that has happened tonight. You can also hear an exclusive chat with Everton and England striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the show. That's ahead of Everton's first match of the post-Benitez era, which gets underway exclusively on TalkSport's Game Day this Saturday as they host Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa at 12:30. That's just the first game of a whole raft of live matches that we've got for you over the course of the weekend on the TalkSport network. This one, midway through the first half. Liverpool lead it by a goal to 0. Lovely turn from Jones in the midfield, and then just give a little shove from Lacazette. Hangs his head in disappointment as Martin Atkinson gives the free kick against him. Liverpool with a goal that they needed to settle their nerves, because as we mentioned, they have been second best, but will they be able to manage the match any better now that they have that advantage?
Well, look, they've got a lot of experience out there. They've got guys that have got over the line in the biggest of tournaments, so they have that in their favour. They've been in these semi-finals before and they've come through them, but they'll also know, Jim, tonight there's a long way to go yet. There's a long, long way to go, but don't underestimate what it does for you, the power it gives you when you score first. It really is important. You can take the sting out of the game all of a sudden. Arsenal, by contrast, will feel like they need to up the ante a little bit, and then if you do that against good teams, you can get picked off. So vitally important that Arsenal realise there's a long way to go on the night. They've just had a bit of a jolt, a setback. They've had to got to take it on the chin, and now they have to respond, but respond in the right manner, not going crazy after over the next 5 minutes.
Those are thoughts of former League Cup winner Andy Townsend alongside me, Jim Pratt, Adrian Durham in the chair tonight. Deck McCarthy, our in-stadium producer. Andy Robertson in possession for Liverpool in a central position inside his own half. And towards Matip, played forward by him to Gordon. And then it goes back again via Matip to Van Dijk. Long right-footed ball, a switch of play. Jones chased after it. The idea was right. It was always likely to be a little bit too briskly hit, and the bounce of the ball did him few favours either. Mikel Arteta could take the mark in this technical area and throw it out for Tomiyasu to take a throw, which will be taken by Arsenal away to our right-hand side. They trail by a goal to 0 with 25 minutes gone. White back for Ramsdale. Gets it away. Long ball forward from him. Robertson is in there, getting the better of Saka. And then Jones can't find Robertson. Still those passes going astray, particularly in the Liverpool midfield. Arsenal looking for a response. Arsenal been a couple of times at home in the league this season by Chelsea and by Manchester City as well. Liverpool have a lousy record in London, which is just a statistical quirk, but I think they've dropped as many points in London this season as they have in the rest of the country combined in the league. But they lead this one by a goal to 0. Tomiyasu taking the throw. Robertson with a long ball forward. Jota giving chase. White forced to head it away past him. and out for a Liverpool throw, and that will allow the Reds the opportunity just to push forward and get the defensive line up to halfway. 25 gone. It's Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1.
Just watching Mikel Arteta. Last week he was orchestrating everything from his team. He felt like he had to. Literally nursed them through that period after Granit Xhaka got sent off, and he's out there again now, arms pointing here, there and everywhere. Jurgen Klopp standing pretty impassive, happy with the lead that his team have, if not necessarily the performance. There's more to come for Liverpool for sure, but crucially in these matches what it's all about is if you can score first, then you can start to manage the game that little bit easier. You don't panic. I think for Arsenal, long way to go, as I said, but they need to get Smith Rowe involved a bit more, Odegaard involved, and Bukayo Saka. They've just gone out of the game a bit.
Jones can bring it forward now for Liverpool, and he's made 20 yards, 30 yards, almost 40, gets to the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Lays it back for Robertson, who's getting forward to keep up in support. He plays a little 1-2 with Jota, now work down the line behind Tomiyasu for the run of Curtis Jones. Jones playing it back in towards Jota, the goal scorer, near the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool leading it 1-0 on the night and on aggregate. Jones down the left-hand side of the box for Firmino. To Robertson, back for Curtis Jones. There's a patience about Liverpool's approach play here. Van Dijk for Robertson again. Robertson coming in off the flank to find Jota, past Lacazette, little flick ball towards the edge of the penalty area for Cade Gordon. Alexander-Arnold in support, but he couldn't get the angle on the reverse ball right. Arsenal will be able to bring it away. Alexander-Arnold had taken up an attacking station, has done well to come back and at least thwart the Arsenal counter-attack for a few moments, but they've still got it. Martinelli, good turn from Martinelli to get in. He then goes to the ground inside the penalty area. Martin Atkinson well placed. He did well to keep up with the Arsenal attacking move, and he says no penalty. Fabinho's challenge was legitimate.
That's a really good swift counter that from Arsenal via Kieran Tierney down the left side. He knocks the ball square into the box. Martinelli's first touch is good, but Fabinho's tackle is a better one. It's timed perfectly. The Arsenal man went to ground. Of course, the big roar went up. Martin Atkinson immediately, Jim, as you say, nothing doing. Just motioning with his arms to say, no way. But that was better.
There's a really good challenge by the Brazilian. And then Liverpool looked to try and break quickly, and Henderson was just offside. He was close to having made the run from inside his own half, but he was just fractionally offside. 28 gone, Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1. From 4 a.m. every weekday morning, you can download the TalkSport Daily podcast, which will include some of the best bits from TalkSport and TalkSport 2 over the last 24 hours. The TalkSport Daily, and you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or Acast. Jones in his own half of the centre circle for Liverpool. He's just put under a little bit of pressure from Lokonga. Works it back for Van Dijk. Last 6 or 7 minutes, Liverpool have had more possession than at any previous stage. Robertson doing well to find Jota. Jota gets round the back on the overlap, tries to fizz a ball in. Smith Rowe's there and will be able to bring it away. Almost gave it away to Henderson, but Arsenal still able to get it out of harm's way. Van Dijk, the deepest of Liverpool's outfield players, picks up the long punt forward. Liverpool will play it forward again. Fabinho to Firmino, now out towards Henderson. Fabinho gets a cross in. Not the best, but Robertson's going to be able to keep it alive on the Liverpool left. Plays it back for Jones on the corner of the penalty area. Jones working back behind square for Matip. Matip in turn just plays the way that he's facing, which is back towards Van Dijk. Fall from him to Jones. Fabinho down towards Robertson. It's taken Liverpool a bit of time to grow into this game, but they are doing now. It's since they've scored the goal, they have enjoyed far and away their best period of the game.
This is the best spell they've had. Curtis Jones in particular, I've been very impressed with him. I think he's played excellent, but this is the best spell Liverpool have had. They're sort of popping it around one touch now with a bit of authority, a little bit of a swagger, and they're just penning Arsenal back. Arsenal dropping deeper into their own 18-yard box, and Liverpool now playing very much in their half.
It's Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1 with Diogo Jota's goal. Scottish Cup tonight, Hibs 0, Cove Rangers 0 with half an hour played there. And in the 2 games of the African Cup of Nations, Mali lead Mauritania by 2 goals to 0. Haidara and Kone with the goals. Gambia against Tunisia is goalless. So as things stand at the moment, it is Mali that will win the group. Gambia will finish second and Tunisia will go through in third. 30 minutes gone of this one, an hour to go. Still plenty of drama lying ahead of us. Joel Matip in his white boots. Smith Rowe a little over-exuberant in trying to win the ball back. Just took a tumble. Back on his feet now. Robertson back for Van Dijk again. Van Dijk to Matip. Matip flicking it out towards the right-hand side. He's lost it. Smith Rowe can bring it forward. And now to be played towards the edge of the area. Odegaard, Saka to his right. Here's Bukayo Saka, right-footed effort, which Robertson blocked, and the huge amount of spin imparted on the ball takes it out of play for a throw rather than the corner. Saka's taken that throw quickly. Back for Tomiyasu. Now Jota comes back, and that is an Arsenal corner, their third of the game.
Yeah, that was a good little break, that. Might have got a little bit more out of that. Bukayo Saka it was who received the ball from Martin Odegaard, shifted it onto his right foot, and by the time he'd done that, Robertson was there just to deny him and get the block in. But they do have a corner.
Saka's going to take it. He's got 2 deep inside the penalty area. He's got 3 in the 6-yard box. A left-footed in-swinging delivery. Really good header from Joel Matip initially to get it away. And then a second Liverpool touch reaches halfway. Tierney, the man back on sentry duty, wraps his left foot around it, high up and under from him. Van Dijk lets it bounce away from Gabriel, who's still forward. And Trent Alexander clears for Liverpool. Bless you, Andy. Ball will be played high up in the air by Tierney towards halfway. Liverpool win it back. A scrappy passage of play this. Just an impromptu game of head tennis over the halfway line. Alexander-Arnold can get his foot on the ball and works it back for Kelleher, and we've got 12 to go to the break. And Liverpool lead with that Diogo Jota goal. Yeah,
not the greatest Liverpool performance, but it's been an efficient one over the last 15 minutes.
That mistake by Tomiyasu. Jones seized upon it, but Arsenal quickly got their shape back behind the ball as Jones went backwards rather than forwards. And Lokonga did enough to steer Henderson's pass away from its intended target, and Arsenal will be able to bring it forward again. Tierney to White, and White's 15 yards inside his own half, brings it towards the edge of the centre circle and plays in Samuel Lokonga, and Lokonga takes a touch and then tries to invite Martinelli forward, who's quick, but he's not that quick. He is quick enough to be able to put pressure on Alexander-Arnold's back pass to Kelleher. And Alexander-Arnold will be able to get it away. Liverpool have played their way out very neatly, and then a little flick from Gordon, which was intended for Jota, is dealt with by White, who sweeps up and almost hits the clock over on the far side, and it goes out of play for a throw. 1-0 Liverpool.
Yep, I just feel Arsenal need to get a little bit more out of Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and to a slightly lesser degree Bukayo Saka. Those 3 guys provide them with the energy in those positions behind Lacazette. They haven't quite seen enough of the ball, and when they have had it, they've gone square or dropped it back, stayed safe, played without risk. I think they're going to need to perhaps be a little bit more ambitious when they get on the ball.
These 2 sides meeting in the League Cup for a 3rd successive season. Last 2 have gone to penalties. Lokonga making a mess of trying to play his way out from the back. Henderson's got it on the edge of the penalty area. Lokonga half rectifying a horrible situation for him. The danger not cleared. Jota heading the ball back, and Odegaard's got time to take a touch and try and get it away. Saka can't divert it completely out of harm's way either, and Robertson will be able to pick it up, but the Scotsman can't find a way through. Odegaard with a lovely little shimmy and turn, and he plays a long ball over the top, and again Martinelli will chase it. Kelleher's super advanced starting position has got Liverpool out of trouble there. He's gambling to a certain extent, but it's justified every time. He knows Martinelli's so quick, and that's a pass that Arsenal look for. He's 15-20 yards outside his penalty area when Liverpool have possession upfield.
It's really good goalkeeping, that. You know, because sometimes the ball's up the other end of the field, and you know, you can just ball watch or just be in your own little world for a split second. The ball gets transferred and you're too deep, whereas Kelleher so far every time that Arsenal have tried to go long, and that was a decent ball out from Odegaard from deep, almost on the edge of his own box. He hits it 40-50 yards out towards Martinelli over the top of Trent, but the goalkeeper's there to sort it.
Robertson to Jota, who was fouled by Odegaard. Really a genuine attempt to win the ball, but he did catch Diogo Jota, who then looks round angrily just to see who the perpetrator was. It's going to be a free kick which will be taken by Liverpool about 5 yards inside their own half. As I mentioned, the last 2 years it's gone to penalties. I was lucky enough to have done the 5-5 draw rather than the 0-0 last season between the two before the penalty shootout. That 5-5 was an unbelievable game at Anfield. And then 0-0 the following season when Arsenal made it through. Here's Curtis Jones. Plenty of chances that this could go to penalties as well tonight, but Arsenal need to win the game from here for that to happen. Tomiyasu losing possession to Jota. He lost his balance, and as a result he lost possession very quickly as well. Saka back for Lokonga. Lokonga to Ben White. White getting the ball out from underneath his feet under pressure from Jones. Good press from Liverpool as Ramsdale keeper plays it out towards Lokonga, and Lokonga will drive forward. It's as though he's really flourishing in the added responsibility that he's got in that central midfield role, where he's the senior partner, if you like, in terms of the defensive midfield players, and it looks as though he's doing them good.
Yep, good run that. Received the ball from Ramsdale with his back to play, and then just turned out really nicely. Drove into that little pocket of space, which is always wise to do that. Midfield players, whether you're a sitter, whether you're an 8, whether you're a forward, gambling runner, whenever you got ground in front of you and you've got the ball at your feet, take it, drive into it, because then someone will come to you and then space will appear for one of your teammates.
3 live Premier League games coming up for you over the course of the weekend. On Saturday, Everton against Villa, 12:30, a part of Game Day Live. Leeds against Newcastle, 3 o'clock kickoff, TalkSport 2, and then 5:30 on TalkSport. Southampton against Manchester City. All of those games live and exclusive to National Radio on the TalkSport network. We've also got Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, Ray Parlour, Mickey Gray from 2:30, Adrian, at Old Trafford. All the goals as they go in from the Premier League and EFL, including Manchester United against West Ham, Leeds, Newcastle and Brentford against Wolves. All coming up for you on Saturday. Here's Tomiyasu in possession. Saka was offside. He made no attempt to go for the ball, but he couldn't because of his starting position. Tomiyasu acknowledged that he possibly could have played it earlier, and it's drifted out of play for a goal kick. Well, if you're just joining us, Arsenal off to a fantastic start. All the possession, hit the bar in 5 minutes with the Lacazette free kick. They were the better team until Diogo Jota scored with a scruffy, scuffed, miss-hit effort on 20. And since then, it's been Liverpool who've controlled proceedings. And Arsenal hardly having a side of Kelleher's goal at the moment, Andy.
No, they haven't. They found the game a little bit more difficult since the goal. However, you can hear the Arsenal fans in the background. They're still very much getting behind their team. They still feel that they're more than capable of getting back in the game. And at one, in whatever game you're playing, whether it's a Premier League game, whether it's a Carabao Cup semi-final, one in never enough to feel comfortable. So they have to keep believing, Arsenal, and they have to keep pushing forward with purpose.
And this man is the chief outlet for them, Martinelli, driving at Matip. Alexander-Arnold was there to double up, but Martinelli just turned and stopped on the corner of the penalty area. Worked it back the other way through the midfield for Ødegaard, and Arsenal now can attack down this near side there right. Saka, back for the blonde-haired Ødegaard, Norwegian firing it inside the box. Alexander-Arnold can get it away. Gooden helps it further clear. And Arsenal, to roars of encouragement, will take a throw in the edge of the penalty area with Tierney.
What they haven't done, Arsenal, is they haven't been able to engineer a little 2-on-1 in those wide areas yet. Yes, they fed Martinelli. Yes, they feed Saka. But they haven't been able to get Tierney with Martinelli, maybe just a little give and go, and getting Tierney to the byline, and the same with Tomiyasu down this side. So they've got to try and do that. The only way you can engineer that is to switch the play that little bit quicker. When you go from right to left quickly in one, rather than doing it in 2 or 3 stages, you can then get those overloads maybe on the opposite fullback.
Now Saka will make a run and try and get in behind Robertson, who used his body very cleverly there, because there was plenty of little nudges with the shoulder whilst the two were waiting for the ball to drop out of the sky. and Robertson stayed goal side. He has the ball at his feet now. His blue boots played into the feet of Roberto Firmino, who's won a throw. Liverpool leading by a goal to nil. Chelsea waiting the winners of this at Wembley, Sunday, February the 27th, and that will be live on TalkSport. Robertson drying the ball on his shirt, spins it in his hands above his head as he prepares to take this throw right in front of his baseball cap wearing manager Jurgen Klopp. Firmino with a lovely touch from deep, working it out towards Trent Alexander-Arnold on the inside right channel. Gordon supplies the width for him. His first touch forced him a little bit wider than he wanted to go, but he's kept possession easily enough. And Liverpool will work it back towards Matip now. Matip forward towards Jones. Alexander-Arnold still in there bustling. Arsenal half clear. Back for Van Dijk. I said the first goal was important. If Liverpool were to score the second from here, it's all over, you'd think.
Yeah, it's mountains to climb, so Arsenal have to get that balance right. That back door has got to be so tight, so firmly shut.
Robertson playing it back. Van Dijk got out of the way to make sure it didn't take an inadvertent deflection off him. Callagher can drive it clear, and then the offside flag is up over on the far touchline as Liverpool work it just over halfway. The referee indicating that whilst Henderson touched the ball inside his own half, he had come from an offside position in Arsenal's. 3 to go to half-time. There's not going to be too much time, if any, to be added on. It's been an engaging spectacle. It's gone very quickly, always the mark of it being a good game. But Arsenal just need that little bit more. Liverpool have survived some sticky patches early on to be in decent control at the moment.
Yeah, when they've gone very quickly, particularly down their left side with Tierney and Martinelli, Arsenal look dangerous. When they play the ball into midfield, it then becomes a little slow, and Liverpool are able to get Jones, Henderson and Fabinho back in front of that back four, and it looks pretty impregnable. They look difficult to break down. So as I mentioned, you've got to move the ball quickly. They've got to think about how they're going to disrupt this Liverpool backline, and there's got to be more speed in the Arsenal game in Liverpool's half.
Smith Rowe hasn't been able to have anything like the impact that he would want so far. Tomiyasu, that's nice control. Back for Lokonga. Tierney showing down that left-hand side again for Arsenal, and Gordon will come out in front of him. Back it goes instead towards Lokonga. Now to Gabriel, stepping forward. Arsenal trailing by a goal to nil, which was scored by Diogo Jota on 20 minutes. Scoring his 13th goal of the campaign. He's only a hat-trick short of 100 senior goals in his career now. Martinelli just losing out. Liverpool in all the yellow, winning it back with Henderson. Played forward again by Liverpool through the midfield. Firmino now turns and goes back for Van Dijk into the feet of Jones, who knew that he was going to get a bang there from Lacazette, and he knew he was going to get a yellow card from referee Martin Atkinson.
I think he's played really well, Curtis Jones. I think he's played very, very well here. You know, at the start, a lot of his teammates were pretty casual and a bit sloppy in the opening 5-10 minutes. But I think he's as responsible as anybody for picking it up for his team and getting possession of the ball and just wrestling that ball away from Arsenal in the opening exchanges, which then facilitated them to get more confidence and score that terrific goal from Jota.
Lacazette, first man in the book. That's his first yellow card of the season. Here's Van Dijk. About a minute to go to half-time. Robertson. Back for Van Dijk again. Now to the right-hand side for Liverpool with Joel Matip. He will play it forward. Jota. Fabinho. Alexander-Arnold back for Virgil van Dijk once more. He's inside the centre circle. Played forward towards Curtis Jones. Henderson's tending to gravitate out towards that right flank at times for Liverpool, and just wanting to make one of those curved runs. He was showing for it there, but the pass never found him.
No, and that allows, when Jordan Henderson does go wide, it allows Trent Alexander-Arnold to step inside.
Gordon back out for Henderson, right-footed ball in from Henderson, and Ramsdale climbed high, got his hands behind it, and was able to catch the cross as we go into one additional minute at the end of this first half on TalkSport. 1-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, actually the goal originated from Trent Alexander-Arnold from the right back position, stepping into that like a central midfield slot, Jim, picking the ball up and then switching it out to the left where Jota then went and did what he did. So they've started to do that a little bit more. They've been more creative with their right back because he's so good with the ball that Jordan Henderson makes those unselfish runs, takes himself into a wide position and allows the fullback to step into a midfield berth, and he's very comfortable in there.
Lacazette trying to bring it forward, and he's just pushed at Diogo Jota. No yellow card that time for Lacazette, much to his relief. Liverpool looking to break quickly. It was a clumsy challenge rather than a malicious one. There will be a free kick for Liverpool, and it being in an advanced area will allow them to run the clock down as much as they want to get through to half-time with their lead definitely intact. Robertson stands over it, right arm above his head. It's just in from the left-hand touchline here. Swung in left-footed, didn't get the elevation that he wanted. Liverpool in the second. Fabinho trying one from distance. Pills for handball. Arsenal will be able to bring it away. Smith Rowe trying to get Saka in. Robertson on the stretch, got there ahead of him. And Alexander-Arnold will mop up the last touch of the first half, in which Arsenal were better for the first half of it, but found themselves trailing, and Liverpool, since they took the lead through Diogo Jota, have been in control. Half-time in the second leg. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1. Liverpool lead it by goal to nil on aggregate. And it's Ibrahima Konate who is coming on for Liverpool for the second half. He's replacing Joel Matip in a straight swap at the back. Interesting comments, that Dominic Calvert-Lewin interview tomorrow morning. Adrian saying that he dresses so well. They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Things just beginning to fall into place now. Looking at you, AD, I understand things a little bit more than I did before you made that comment, now that I know who your muse is. So Konate coming on for Matip at centre-half ahead of the second half. Your thoughts, Andy?
Well, look, again, can only assume that Joel Matip's got a problem. It wasn't his finest 45 minutes, I've got to say, but Konate, and by the way, a giant of a man, so him and Van Dijk, formidable presence, certainly at the heart of that Liverpool defence. And the Arsenal forwards have got to move that ball swiftly around those guys to create a chance or two.
Well, Konate is yet to lose a game in a Liverpool shirt, and if that continues tonight, then it will be Liverpool in the final. They lead by a goal to nil at the start of the second half. Liverpool are kicking from left to right in their yellow shirts with the red trim, attacking the end of the ground that houses the travelling Liverpool support away to our right, and Arsenal in their traditional red and white. With work to do. Here is Konate for the first time tonight. Long right-footed ball forward from him. Minamino actually went through quite an extensive warm-up as well during the half-time interval. Much longer than all of the other outfield substitutes. I just wonder whether Minamino for Gordon is a preconceived substitution that we will see maybe in 15-20 minutes time or so.
Yeah, he didn't see a tremendous amount of the ball, Kay Gordon, first half, but what he had, he was neat and tidy and efficient. And again, with a 1-0 lead, it's about being sensible, playing your part, making sure that when you go out of possession, you get tucked back in, you're nice and narrow. Defensively, you're aware and you're alert. But Liverpool got a lot of experience out there, the likes of Fabinho, the Van Dijks, Hendersons, etc. Roberto Firmino. You know, they've got players, Trent and Robertson as well, of course.
Now Lacazette tried to pounce on a loose ball that squirmed into the Liverpool penalty area. Kelleher again read the situation very quickly and was able to come out and gather. Arsenal with just the one shot on target so far, only two in the entire game, first of which hit the crossbar with that early Lacazette free kick. Henderson playing it back for Konate, and it's just finding those opportunities much more readily that Arsenal need. They need that recipe in the second half. Gordon right in front of us, stood, hands outstretched, wanted the ball over the top from Konate because he felt that he had the run on Tierney there. It wasn't forthcoming. Liverpool have it again deeper. Firmino playing it forward, looking for Jota. Couldn't quite stretch far enough to nudge it away from White. And the former Brighton defender is able to construct another attack from deep for Arsenal. 2 minutes gone in the second half. High ball over the top here for the Gunners, and Saka's going to pick it up, and he's onside. Faced up by Robertson, waiting for the red and white shirts to arrive. Still Saka, twisting, turning inside the penalty area. Odegaard trying to chip it back over the top for him, but Kelleher read it and came out and seized the ball ahead of Saka. 2.5 gone in the second half, and it's still Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, chance there, and I think that's good play from Arsenal, mixing the game up, going direct to Bukayo Saka.
Gordon looking for the ball in behind the Arsenal back line, trying to release Jota. And it was Ramsdale that was out early to see that one and knock it away.
I think Mikel Arteta will have said to his players, we have to be braver and we have to be prepared to go a little bit more direct, because if you just go side to side across the back to the full-backs, back into the centre halves, that Liverpool well-oiled machine gets set and they're difficult to break down.
Smith Rowe and Martinelli. Arsenal starting the second half with attacking purposes they did the first, leaving themselves perhaps a little bit more prone to a counter-attack as a result of that, but getting to the stage where they've got to gamble a little bit. Lokonga right in the challenge, and it was a rash one from Firmino. Good ball over the top. Lacazette's over the bar. What a good opportunity it was. Excellent move from Arsenal at the best of the game, getting Lacazette in, edge of the penalty area, but he couldn't keep it down.
Fabulous play from Sambi Lokonga. Just looking there, he would have been right on the line. Had that ball have gone in the back of the net, Lacazette was close to being offside. It would have been, the tape measure would have been officially out. And Quivin Kelleher, for the first time they're caught in no man's land, standing rooted to the penalty spot as Lacazette lobs that ball over him, but it's just a bit too big.
Tierney back inside his own penalty area for Ramsdale. Arsenal looked long again with a long ball for. As soon as Ramsdale got it, he was looking for that 60-yard ball over the top for Martinelli. Trying to turn the Liverpool back lines. Clearly something that has been spoken about during the half-time interval.
I think it's a wise move. And also what it does, Jim, because I mentioned earlier, look, now all of a sudden, listen to the Arsenal fans, because they see their team knocking it in behind Liverpool, chasing, forcing errors, just trying to play the percentages a little bit. You can't do everything perfect. You can't play the wonderful stuff every time to try and break this Liverpool team down. Go back to front, go in behind them, turn them round, chase them, force them wide, make them give them throw-ins and set pieces and corners, and you can just all of a sudden really drag yourself from nowhere into a game.
Arsenal have got a throw, level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. A lot of the play in this second half has been concentrated in and around that Liverpool box. 5 minutes into the second period here on TalkSport and live across the United States on Sirius XM-FC. Gabriel finding Tierney. Tierney's got Gordon ahead of him. Plays it back inside his own half for Gabriel, the Brazilian. To his right for Ben White. The white sweatbands around his wrist as always. Knocks it forward. Gobbled up on the edge of the penalty area by Konate on as a half-time substitute for Joel Matip. Clearance from Kelleher, returned by Tomiyasu with a cushion header. More powerful one from Van Dijk comes back the other way, and Jota will pick it up on halfway and will try and get a run at Ben White. Coming in off the left-hand touchline, and he's beaten him, and he takes it down towards the byline. He's got Firmino at the near post. He's pulled it back for Cade Gordon, who's fired it over the bar, leaning back. Glorious opportunity. And there should have been a goal at both ends in the opening 6 minutes of the second half.
Oh, the young man holds his head in his hands. What a chance that was to put Liverpool 2 up. A sensational bit of work down the left side from Diogo Jota, who slows Ben White down, then accelerates beyond him, gets to the byline, picks his head up. He's got options. He's got Firmino. Cade Gordon does the right thing, peels off to the penalty spot. The ball is laid right in the path on his left foot, and he just leans back and skies it over the bar. Brilliant football from Liverpool. Sensational work from Jota. Should have been 2-0.
Now the African Cup of Nations, Gambia have scored in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. They lead Tunisia by a goal to 0. Mali have already beaten Mauritania by 2 goals to 0. Here's Martinelli for Arsenal, who need a goal. Left-hand side of the penalty area. It's 1-0 to Liverpool, the 8-time winners of this competition, including 4 in a row at the beginning of the 1980s. Odegaard to Lokonga and back for Gabriel, who takes it over the halfway line in possession. No immediate options of an attacking nature, so he's forced to play a relatively conservative ball to his left for Tierney. Ramsdale now back for Gabriel. Tierney comes back pretty briskly inside his own half to offer himself as another option for Gabriel, but it's worked the other way instead, through White to Tomiyasu, out towards Lacazette, drifting out to the right now. Saka, Smith-Rowe made a central run. Arsenal looking for the quick switch, looking for Martinelli, knocked away though by Alexander-Arnold. Gordon couldn't get it to stick, and combination of Tierney and Lokonga have it back for Arsenal. Ben White's got it now, but he's still inside his own half, with Liverpool leading 1-0. Lokonga finding White again. White just coming forward, trying to draw Firmino into making a challenge. Plays it out towards the left. Tierney has flicked it off Gordon, and it goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Arsenal left. Well, clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities have been relatively rare. Liverpool have the goal. Arsenal hit the bar at 0-0 in the very early stages, but Lacazette and Gordon both missing good chances at the beginning of this second half. Now another long ball over the top. Oh, Martinelli has gone for it when he knew he wasn't going to get there, let's say. Kelleher withstood the challenge, and typical of a man who played a lot of Gaelic football in his youth, he just got up and looked completely unfazed. Yeah. Be more than used to that, but it's a free kick to Liverpool. But he's right on the edge of the box, and that was a 70-yard ping from Aaron Ramsdale, right over the back of Trent Alexander-Arnold for Martinelli to run onto. Gambia have won that game. They've beaten Tunisia by a goal to nil. They'll play Guinea in the next round, and Mali will play Equatorial Guinea in the African Cup of Nations. This one for the right to take on Chelsea. Oh, good ball forward. Fabinho's onside, and he's just waiting for options. To his left-hand side, he had Curtis Jones. He's bobbled off him, and White can clear. Why doesn't he go on his own there, Fabinho? He's got in behind the Arsenal back line, and then he waits for options. He tries to play a clever clip ball. It was never really on for Curtis Jones, and he can't control it, and the chance has gone. Oh, it's really opening up quickly now. Ramsdale had to take a quick look to see that he was outside his penalty area as he put his hands down towards the ball. He adjusted quickly enough, got it away, but it's much more open. And it has to be, because Arsenal have got to push forward with more intent, and as a result of that, they always leave themselves prone to Liverpool being able to strike on the counter. I don't think this one's going to stay 1-0 somehow. Doesn't feel like it, Jim, does it? The way the second half has started, it really doesn't. Both teams look like they're turning the ball over and wanting to get forward pretty quickly. Fabinho wins the free kick. Lacazette is saying that Fabinho made a back for him. That wasn't how Martin Atkinson saw it. Don't forget your chance to react to the end of this game on kickoff tonight with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy on the Sports Bar. 03717223344 is the number. Get your calls in. Have your say on national radio from 10 o'clock tonight, unless this goes to extra time and penalties, in which case the boys might just be delayed. Tomiyasu tried to pull his man back there after an error. The referee waited to see if play would develop with Liverpool having the advantage. It didn't, and the decision to award Tomiyasu a yellow card's an easy one for Martin Atkinson. Yeah. He's just been a little bit below par, Tomiyasu, this evening. He hasn't been that kind of very comfortable but marauding right back that we've seen at times for Arsenal. He's received the ball there, didn't have the clear picture in his mind. Curtis Jones, very quick to confront him, took the ball off him. And in the end, the Arsenal man gets a yellow card for fouling. Well, he didn't play in the first leg because Cedric had this hip problem. Tomiyasu himself only just back from a groin strain, so maybe just not quite at 100%, but it hasn't been his best game for the Gunners by any stretch of the imagination tonight. He's been so dependable since his move over from Italy, but he's not been at his best this evening. Free kick, driven inside. That's a really good covering header from Tomiyasu there. Now it will come down for Konate, still finding himself on the right wing for Liverpool for a moment. Firmino takes over. Fabinho had made a good run, but Ødegaard had covered him. So the ball has gone back for Henderson instead. Henderson to Andy Robertson. Robertson for Jones, stretching and taking the ball in neatly. Fabinho's got it. Gordon the option to his right. Fabinho going for goal. Knocked away on the edge of his own penalty area by Gabriel. Lacazette brings it forward. A collision between him and Jones, and the Frenchman stays down. Play goes on with Robertson. Lacazette back on his feet. High ball swept in towards the far post. Ramsdale with a good piece of goalkeeping. Came and cleaned everything out. He punched the ball away, which was the most important thing. Got it out for a corner, but he took Tierney with him. And he might just need a little bit of treatment. That was a heavy one that Tierney took there from his keeper.
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk it was who was under that cross. And of course, big towering presence means Aaron Ramsdale's got to come out and put something on that. He does, and clatters into Kieran Tierney. The two of them just high-five each other. That's the way you've got to be. You can't worry about it if it's your own man, whoever's in front of you. When a goalkeeper's coming to get it, you've got to plough through people to make sure you make good contact, and he did there. But Trent Alexander-Arnold has the ball at his feet for another Liverpool corner,
which will be taken on the right. The Liverpool fans in fine voice applauding. The Arsenal fans are just making the officials known that this is the most deliberate spotting of a ball for a corner that they've ever seen. Alexander-Arnold will take it, right-footed, plenty of whip, good outswing, Konate's hit the post, Henderson, good save. Offside flag was up, first one would have counted, and it's now Liverpool's turn to hit the frame of the goal. It remains 1-0.
Big moment in the game, that. Lovely ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Konate's on the penalty spot. It's a towering header. It goes straight off the post, comes back to Jordan Henderson, who is in an offside position. Flag goes up. Arsenal live very dangerously once more.
And Konate very close to scoring what would have been his first goal in Liverpool colours. Not a regular goal scorer anyway. I think he's only scored 5 in his career at the moment. We've played almost an hour. A little bit of breaking news from across North London, incidentally. Hugo Lloris will be signing a 2-year contract extension at Tottenham, we understand. A bit of breaking news across London.
Well, that's dragged on, that one, hasn't it, for a while, and I think I certainly wasn't sure whether Hugo Lloris would actually stay at Spurs, but good news for him, and good news for Antonio Conte as well. Experienced goalkeepers, and top-class experienced goalkeepers, not easy to come by.
Yeah, so his captain will sign a new deal, which will keep him with the club till he's 37. Ball worked out towards the right-hand side here for Arsenal, who trail 1-0. Left-footed, good switch of play. Saka's done well, gets it towards the far post, nobody there to attack it. Smith Rowe made a darting near-post run, but he's the only one really that gambled on Saka being able to get the ball across. Arsenal will be able to get the big guns forward now as they win their first corner of the second half with an hour gone. 1-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, Kay Gordon just ball watching a little bit there as that ball was clipped in from Bukayo Saka down Arsenal's right. It beat everybody. He was a bit slow to react in. He got there first and they forced the corner.
It's going to be taken by Smith Rowe on this near side. Good delivery, good punch away by Kelleher. It was Erdegaard's delivery. In fact, Smith Rowe was there on stretching to knock it over the bar. So 1-0 it remains, half an hour to go. The Liverpool, who lost their last League Cup semi-final, was against Southampton some 5 years ago now. And they're 30 minutes tonight plus 90 minutes away from potentially winning this competition for the first time in 10 years. Arsenal in need of a goal. It's exactly 300 minutes now, 5 hours of play since they last scored one. Gabriel heading the ball away. Got half an hour to score one. Take this to extra time. Away goals don't count these days in this competition. 1-0 to Liverpool on aggregate here on TalkSport. The ball is with White. He's inside his own half, well inside his own half. Played it forward towards Lokonga. Back behind square for Gabriel, and now down towards Tierney. And back for Gabriel again. Now for your fully pledged Premier League fix, look no further than TalkSport's Game Day podcast. Join Sam Matterface and Alex Crook for the reviews, interviews, analysis, bit of transfer news as well, and a sprinkle of silliness. It's on the TalkSport app or wherever you get your podcasts. 61 gone. And it's 1-0 at the moment in Liverpool's favour, with Diogo Jota scoring the goal on 20 minutes. Attacking Minamino. Mentioned that he'd been warming up quite extensively during the half-time interval. That's continued over the last few minutes. He's going to be coming on in a moment. You would imagine for Gordon, the 17-year-old in the biggest night of his life so far, has done his bit. It's Fabinho. Back past Van Dijk to Kelleher. Van Dijk has it again on the edge of his own penalty area. Now it comes down towards Konate. Great ball. Konate The man that provided it right down the line for Alexander-Arnold. That's not a bad ball in either. It's just too far ahead of Gordon. And then stretching whilst he was on one knee, Gabriel could flick it away with his left instead to get it forward. Canate then wrestles Lacazette. And that will be a yellow card to the Liverpool substitute.
Well, lovely football from Liverpool. Canate was who rolled it to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who sprinted down the right side, got level with the 18-yard box and then whipped a real vicious, dangerous ball, which was begging someone to get on the end of it, but it was a red and white shirt. They cleared it very quickly into Lacazette on the halfway line without his fullback alongside him. Canate is just a bit vulnerable. Lacazette rolls him. The big centre-half just grabs him and takes the yellow card.
So Gordon comes off and gets a big embrace from Jurgen Klopp. And Minamino is on to replace him for the final at least half hour.
He did all right, Kay Gordon. Look, didn't have a lot of it first half, second half 1 or 2, and of course he had that great chance. For him, he'll be sitting there now thinking, oh, if only I'd have just got my head over that a little bit and kept that one under the crossbar, we could be 2 up. But he did okay, don't worry.
Martinelli's offside. It's going to be a free kick which will be taken by Liverpool, and again, they'll be in no hurry to take it with 18 minutes gone in this second half. Arsenal trailing, trying to find a way back into this game. Not got a good record. They haven't won any of the last 6 against Liverpool. In fact, they've beaten them only once in the last 17 matches between the two in all competitions. Well, that was a success here in Liverpool's title-winning season. Canate belatedly taking the free kick, now playing it forward. Minamino trying to help it on, only as far as Tierney. Back from Martinelli to Tierney. And the Scotsman finds Gabriel. White drops off to offer himself as a passing option. Now pings it out towards the right-hand side, but plenty of air underneath it, so Robertson was able to time his jump well and get it away from Saka. Jones. Back out to the Liverpool left-hand side. Jones will continue his run forward. They couldn't find him with the pass. It will break out to the Liverpool left. Minamino trying to get across the near post area, but it was too close to Ramsdale, who could make a diving save at the foot of the post. And it remains 1-0, but Arsenal have only 25 minutes to find the equaliser to take this to extra time.
Yeah, and you can sense the Arsenal crowd are urging their team to get the ball forward, back in play and get it further up the field as quick as they can. They've had a lot of joy when they've gone direct. It's been a good tactic second half, I think. It's been a sensible one. And they might still need to do more of it. But of course, every time you try and go 50, 60 yards long, you run the risk of giving the ball away. Here they're just recycling. They're keeping the ball on the edge of their own box. And again, they're trying to drag the yellow shirts onto him so as Ramsdale can launch it, which he duly obliges. Unfortunately, straight at Virgil van Dijk,
who heads it back away from Lacazette. Now Arsenal have a free kick inside their own half, but a good 25 yards inside their own half. Coming up Saturday, Everton against Aston Villa, Leeds against Newcastle, and Southampton, Manchester City, all coming your way on the TalkSport network. Everton Villa, 12:30 Saturday lunchtime on TalkSport. Southampton, Man City at 5:30. Leeds against Newcastle is a 3 o'clock kickoff on TalkSport 2. That's after the East Midlands derby between Nottingham Forest and Derby County, which is a 12:30 kickoff on TalkSport 2. And in there as well, the fantastic Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, Ray Parler, Mickey Gray and Chris Iwelumo. And Adrian at Old Trafford, all the goals as they go in from the Premier League and the EFL, including Manchester United against West Ham, Leeds, Newcastle and Brentford against Wolves. And then Monday night, Blackburn, who've just had a wobble against Hull in the week in the promotion race in the Championship. They take on Middlesbrough, and that's live for you on TalkSport 2 on Monday night. We're almost at the midway stage of the second half in the League Cup semi-final second leg. And it's 1-0 to Liverpool, as it has been now for 47 minutes.
Yeah, just been looking at the substitutes. They're all kind of warming up, and they're out there now trying to get primed and ready to go should either coach want to make a change or two. For Mikel Arteta, it's not quite so straightforward. I mean, both managers have got splatterings of what they would really require on the bench. For Arsenal in particular, they've got Thomas Partey again. You know, you're one down. Is that a change you might want to make? We'll see, but he's looking for something perhaps to make the difference at the top of the field. He's got Eddie Nketiah, and obviously after that Charlie Patino, but there's a lot of young guys out there perhaps with not an awful lot of game time under their belts.
Jota can bring the ball forward here for Liverpool. The man who at the moment has scored the goal that is taking them to Wembley. Arsenal can bring it away. Nice touch from Ødegaard. It's Smith Rowe, and it's a really poor pass in a great position. And Jurgen Klopp applauds out of relief as much as anything else. Liverpool got their defensive angles right. And Smith Rowe played a half-decent pass there. Liverpool might have been in trouble. They have a throw over on the far side. They'll feel that they should have had more.
What a chance that was. I mean, Emil Smith Rowe, he's behind Liverpool's midfield. He's got the ball. He's got options to his right. I think they were 3-on-3 potentially there, Arsenal. And he rolls a really slow, casual pass out to Bukayo Saka, and Fabinho pinches it. Really poor play.
Smith Rowe's got it again and tries to unload from the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool can block the shot at source. And now they'll bring it forward out from the back. It's in possession. And they're change kit of all yellow tonight. So over 20 minutes away from reaching the final of this competition for the first time in 6 years. Good ball from Jota out towards Alexander-Arnold, and the fullback will make his way forward. Right-footed ball in, great shape on it. Jota heading it back. Minamino with an effort that took a deflection and then is bobbled clear. Arsenal fans appealing that there was a hand in there from a Liverpool player. Arsenal can get it away and then win a free kick. Referees played a decent advantage with the Gunners in possession. Smith Rowe gets back to his feet, and Tierney has it. Back from him to Gabriel. Actually, it was Ødegaard that was fouled. He's okay. He's just leaning over for a moment. He's fine and able to continue. Home crowd doing their bit to try and get behind the side now. Stewards have been trying to get fans in front of us to sit down. They've given up because everybody's on their feet now, with such is the state of the game, with just over 20 minutes to go.
Another great marauding run from Trent. Alexander-Arnold down Liverpool's right. Receives a crossfield diagonal pass in behind the Arsenal backline, clips the ball into the box, and you just thought that Roberto Firmino was going to put his head on it and put the game to bed. Didn't do it. Arsenal just about managed to scramble it to safety.
Eddie Nketiah is going to be coming on for Arsenal for the last 20 minutes. It'll be interesting to see how they reshape things to accommodate his arrival, and whether Lacazette stays on.
Yeah, Lacazette to drop in the middle of the park to me. Probably Smith Rowe's not really been effective tonight. Let Nketiah go up the middle. We'll see, Jim. I mean, look, he might want to put the two of them up there.
I wonder whether, Ødegaard is labouring a little bit. He picked up that heavy challenge a few moments ago. He's only just back from COVID. You could make a case for it being either number 8 or 10 that comes up here for Nketiah to come on. Here's Sambi Lokonga. Smith Rowe trying to take it on the turn, trying to nudge his way through ahead of Henderson. He's been fouled. Play goes on. Another decent advantage. Crowd get to their feet again with Martinelli in possession. Back it goes from him to Tierney. 20 minutes to go on TalkSport, and it's 1-0 to Liverpool, and the same scoreline on aggregate. Ødegaard turns away from Fabinho, then plays it out towards Lacazette, who just drops that little bit deeper again. Saka's ahead of him. Back for Lacazette to Ødegaard. Ødegaard, Smith Rowe, back for Martin Ødegaard. Tierney to his left. Martinelli in a more advanced position on the left flank. That's the pass that he plays, and Martinelli now will try and get to the byline. He checks, turns it onto his right foot. Can he get across it? He can. Deep towards the far post where Van Dijk heads it away. Headed back by Tomiyasu and whacked away by Van Dijk once more. Out towards halfway. They'll go out for an Arsenal throw, and now they will be able to make the change, although they've restarted play really quickly. I don't know whether they're oblivious to the fact that Nketiah is about to come on. They're going to be bringing Partey on as well. So a double change for Arsenal is imminent. Martinelli taking on Alexander-Arnold. Little block challenge from him, and Minamino can do the rest. Arsenal pick it up again on halfway with White bringing it down on his chest. Laying it back for Gabriel. Turned into the feet of Ødegaard. Just waiting for the last possible moment and Jones to get as close as possible before he nudged it away and then tried to turn into the space. Ødegaard has it again. Long crossfield passes, well intentioned and well executed. Martinelli's got it. Taking on Alexander-Arnold. He's got it across, and Kelleher coming towards the near post. Just got his hands to it. after a fashion a little bit, but he got it away and it goes out of play for a corner. It was driven in with real pace, and Kelleher sticking his hands up instinctively above his head, able to beat it away for a corner.
Hit it well, didn't he, Martinelli? He's taking Trent Alexander-Arnold on just outside the 18-yard box, about 5 yards short of the byline. But he just gets half a yard and drills it towards that near post. And I tell you, that's an important stop from Kelleher, that.
Corner taken on the near side by Martinelli. He's headed away. Didn't get as far as Smith Rowe. Liverpool clear once more. And the clock continues to tick on into the 73rd minute now. Lovely long switch of play out of the Arsenal left again for Martinelli. Martinelli twisting, turning, little injection of pace. Henderson just kept his eye on the ball, nudges it away and out for a throw by the corner flag.
It's difficult, Martinelli, because you think he's going to cross it, then he chops back onto the left, and then he chops back onto the right. He's one of those sort of players that likes to continue to do that. Here's the change, Jim.
Well, it's Lacazette and Smith Rowe that are coming off, and Nketiah and Partey are the players that are coming on. Eddie Nketiah's had a fantastic record in this competition this season. 5 goals, 1 against Wimbledon, 1 against Leeds, a hat-trick against Sunderland in the quarter-finals. He's actually got 10 in 10 games in this competition in his career. What he'd give to make that at least 11 and 11 by the end of the night.
He just want a chance, Eddie Nketiah. Just want to try and get a chance in what's left of the game. Plenty of time, but not easy entering the fray in a match like this where there's so much at stake, and desperate to get involved as quick as you can.
Long throw from Tierney is half clear. It's going to be Milner for Henderson for Liverpool in a moment. Gabriel back for White, left-footed ball clipped over the top. Martinelli tried to win the seconds, couldn't. Henderson will clear. That'll be his last touch as it goes out of play for a throw, and Milner will come on to replace him. James Milner, who lost the final in 2016 as a Liverpool player. He scored in the final for Villa back in 2010 on the losing side that day as well. He's going to be coming on for Jordan Henderson. That's Liverpool's 3rd change.
Well, yeah, tons of experience coming on in James Milner. Jordan Henderson got better second 45. I think he figured more prominently for his team. But Jurgen Klopp just desperate to make sure with Arsenal's changes that they've got plenty of energy in there.
Offside flag is up. As Nketiah made a darting run trying to get a ball on the half turn that was slipped up the right hand touchline. And he went a fraction early, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Liverpool over on the left. 15 minutes to go. Liverpool in the league this season have only conceded twice all season in the final 15 minutes.
So Lokonga and Thomas Partey will kind of sit there and anchor, because Tierney's got to be adventurous. Tomiyasu really hasn't gone anywhere. He's keeping an eye on Jota. But Odegaard now pushes further forward into the 10 position.
And Fabinho follows him every step of the way. That could be one of the key battles now. Martinelli just trying to help it on. Couldn't find Nketiah. Liverpool get it clear. Fall from Alexander-Arnold for Minamino. Minamino to his left-hand side for Curtis Jones. Jones slipping it forward. Minamino with a touch. Gabriel dug it out from underneath his feet in the nick of time. It's back for Milner. High ball in from him. Tomiyasu with a defensive header away. Well read by Robertson. And he's thrust it across the face of goal.
Brilliant play from Robertson. Fantastic play from him. Because the ball was cleared out of the Arsenal box, and then Bukayo Saka thought he was just going to gather it and turn. And Robertson, from 5 yards behind him, picked his pocket, drove towards the byline, hit it viciously across the box, and Arsenal again breathe a sigh of relief. They're still in it.
Well, as last night proved, until you're in in the last knockings, it's never too early to give up.
No, it's exactly right, that.
Firmino, the Fabinho. Do I mean never too early to give up, never too late to give up? You know what I'm saying. I know
what you meant, Jim.
The full length of the game, with 14 minutes to go, anything can happen, yeah. Martinelli trying to bring it forward, didn't get too far. No foul, no complaints from him. High ball over the top here. Jota round the keeper. That is a majestic goal that at the moment is denied by the flag.
Well, it's going to be checked, yeah.
There's an admonishing wave of the finger from Diogo Jota towards Lee Betts, the assistant referee. My initial reaction was that he is offside, but we'll just have a look at the replay. It's very close, but I think he's probably just off. It was a great finish. He chested it down into space across the Arsenal defender, got his foot underneath it, flicked it over the goalkeeper and in for 2-0. And if this counts, then he's surely all over.
Yeah, if this counts, but it does look like he may be just leaning in such a way because he's trying to chase a forward pass that he's leaning forward a little bit than the last defender. It's going to be tight. The tape measure is officially going to be out here, Jim.
Well, it's Gabriel that is playing him onside, and this is going to count.
Wow.
And this will be 2-0 to Liverpool. They're just waiting for confirmation. Martin Atkinson has his right hand to his ear, and he's waiting for the call from the VAR, Darren England. But looking at it, where they've drawn the lines, it looks as though Gabriel has played him onside. You'll know in a moment the cheer from the Liverpool supporters. Still, the referee is waiting. Goal stands! Massive celebration from Diogo Jota. And they run over to the Liverpool fans, who celebrate ecstatically away to our right-hand side. Jota in the first half, now Jota in the second, and Liverpool surely there in the 2022 League Cup final against Chelsea. Diogo Jota with both the goals. It was a close run thing, but on a night of fine margins, it surely now is Liverpool who are destined to progress.
Do you know, it's a fantastic finish, and the situation wasn't unlike the situation where Granit Xhaka got sent off up at Anfield. That long ball through, Jota on the end of it, takes it on his chest, and it's this time Ben White is with him, has to let him go, and Ramsdale comes flying out, and the touch over the goalkeeper is exquisite. As soon as the flag went up, Jim, the player, Diogo Jota, immediately went, no chance, I was not offside, because he could see the ball, he could see Gabriel, he was adamant he was good to go, and that is the way it proved. And I feel now that it's going to be Liverpool heading to Wembley to face Chelsea at the end of Feb.
2 goals Arsenal need. They've got 10 minutes to get them. It's 2-0 to Liverpool on the night and on aggregate. And Diogo Jota, who just makes a habit of scoring against Arsenal. 2 here last season, 2 here this season in the League Cup as well. And Liverpool are 10 minutes away from meeting Chelsea in the final. But as Tottenham proved last night, 2 goals, plenty of time to score 2 goals. Martinelli almost able to score the first, nearly from the restart. Chested it down, right-footed, off-balance volley that clears the bar.
Oh, what a strike from Martinelli. Brilliant work from him on the edge of the box. He hits it so clean and so sweet, but it's always rising, it's always going over Kelleher's crossbar. He's got such a cool head, Diogo Jota, hasn't he, in the last third? I mean, we've seen him score such crucial goals for this Liverpool team. It's such a key part of what they're going to do now and in the future is working that last third, whether it's on his head or whether it's on the floor. Very accomplished.
Liverpool look long for Minamino, who's able to head it down inside the penalty area. Jota on a hat-trick at the far post. If Minamino can get it across, he's played it back for Curtis Jones instead. Partey sticking his foot in to knock it away, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Arsenal, and Martin Atkinson gets the yellow card out for Curtis Jones.
Yeah, he should have took the shot there, Curtis Jones. Minamino rolled it across the 18-yard box to him. Just had a couple of touches. Odegaard got back and just read what he was up to. And then the Liverpool man grabbed him, took the yellow card.
Here's Partey. 48 hours ago was getting eliminated from the African Cup of Nations in that shock defeat to Comoros. He's going to be getting eliminated from the League Cup tonight at the semi-final stage. Looking that way, it's going to be a dramatic comeback for Arsenal if they can pull it off from here. But 2 goals in 8 minutes plus stoppage time will take this to extra time. Lokonga played it forward away from Tierney. Few Arsenal fans, not many, but a few beginning to filter out, thinking that the writing is now on the wall. Liverpool getting closer and closer, and their record in domestic cup competitions under Jurgen Klopp for a club the size of their stature is poor, but they're destined seemingly to get to the final, and Liverpool against Chelsea would be some encounter. 7.5 minutes plus stoppage time away from materialising. Keller has got the ball in his hands. Nico Williams is about to come on for Liverpool. What does Mikel Arteta do, Andy?
Mikel Arteta keeps his fingers crossed. He hopes, and he just prays that somebody can just find a yard in an important position to make the difference.
Firmino driving forward, no foul as Arsenal get it away. Jones able to pick it up, right-footed effort from him, goes wide. Another goal now and it is all over. It's going to be a goal kick which Ramsdale was in a hurry to take, but he won't be allowed to take it yet. Liverpool are going to make change number 4. And that's going to be Nico Williams coming on for Bobby Firmino. So there'll be a bit of a shuffle round.
They will. With 2 goals in his back pocket now, Jurgen Klopp can quite rightly afford to make sure that they got plenty of energy out there, and Nico Williams has certainly got that. Roberto Firmino tonight, 6 out of 10 for him. Not one of his special occasions, but he's played his part. He's played his part in a good team performance.
Well, Williams will come on. There is a pitch invader away to our left-hand side. Sometimes you see pitch invaders come on very live and speedy and have the ability to make a fool of the stewards. That one, well, not so much. He was put to the ground with an emphatic challenge by a steward who looks as though he's probably given him about 20 years, had a little bit more experience and probably had played a little bit more rugby than the man who'd come on. 6 minutes to go, it's 2-0, there's another one coming on and waving a scarf. He, I think, will leave the field. Ramsdale just saying to him, come on, get off the field. The steward comes to approach him and he will make his way away. So 6 minutes plus stoppage time. I suppose this time does give Mikel Arteta just a bit of breathing space while all of this goes on. Bottle thrown at the pitch invader from the Arsenal fans, incidentally. And now as he tried to vault the hoardings, he lost his balance. The stewards converged on him from all sides and he is being manhandled away. So we can continue. That will add probably a minute or so. So 5 minutes, maybe another 4 to be added. Here's Ramsdale, gets it away. Arsenal need to score twice. Liverpool are nearly there. 2 Diogo Jota goals. Alexander-Arnold with the ball forward. Maybe chased down the Liverpool right by Nico Williams. So he's playing on the right of the forward 3. Minamino's through the middle. Yeah,
he's played there before. Seen him operate there a couple of times, Nico Williams. And again, got tons of energy and willingness, which is everything you need with a 2-goal lead. Yep, all the onus is on Arsenal. Arteta's made changes and it looks like it's just not going to be enough.
Ramsdale playing it forward towards Partey. Partey back for White. Right out to Tomiyasu, who'll go back for Ben White again. Now down to the left-hand touchline for Tierney. Tierney gets it again. Little 1-2 back between him and Gabriel. Arsenal's need now desperate. Got to get the ball forward as quickly as they can. Can't maintain possession here, and then Nico Williams is caught and Partey gets a yellow card. Free kick to Liverpool about 20 yards outside the penalty area.
Yeah, just lost possession there, Thomas Partey, trying to turn out and a bit clumsy with the challenge on Nico Williams. Nothing more than that. It wasn't a sinister one, but whenever the referee blows that whistle and it's a Liverpool free kick, that's exactly what Jurgen Klopp and his players want there. You can stop it as many times as you like, Mr. Atkinson. They'll take that and they'll run the clock down.
The traffic of Arsenal supporters leaving the game is much more heavy now. 3.5 plus stoppage time. 2-0 to Liverpool. Free kick is easily knocked away by the Gunners' back line. Back out for Alexander-Arnold. It's gone deep this time towards Van Dijk, who can chest it down. Jones then playing it back through the midfield. Robertson to Milner. Canati with a long ball over the top, and just out of play for a goal kick, and Ramsdale urges the ball boy over on that far touchline to give him the ball as quickly as possible so he can get it forward with alacrity. 3 to go. They need 2. They've only had 2 shots on target all night, to the credit of Liverpool's back line and organisation. They have been able to restrict it, and ever since Liverpool took the lead with Diogo Jota on 20 minutes, Liverpool have been the better team, really.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
Arsenal will be able to bring it forward. Sorry, Andy, with Nketiah.
Just going to say, they just look like they've got more know-how, from the driving seat, Liverpool. Once they scored, they've just had the right players in the right areas. Fabulous work from Diogo Jota, who's, aside of his goals, has played brilliantly. Held the ball up, released it at the right time, always been a threat whenever he's got it.
Canati clears. Minamino able to hold it up. He's still inside his own half, but he's been fouled by Gabriel. And each one of these Arsenal indiscretions allows Liverpool to run a few seconds off the clock. Match management has been excellent, and I always observe, it is an observation, not a criticism, because under any circumstance you want your team to do the same, to just be able to eat the seconds out of the game as Liverpool are doing here, but they're doing it well. Canate, after the free kick is taken, goes back for Kelleher. Kelleher swipes it left-footed, and all of a sudden there's only 90 seconds remaining in the 90 minutes. Arsenal 2 down. Minamino chipping it forward. There's a good run here by Curtis Jones down the left-hand side. Just trying to slip the ball inside the penalty area. It was almost driven across by Robertson, but couldn't quite find Minamino's run. And Nico Williams coming into the far post. Ramsdale had the ball in his hands, but by the time he releases it, we're going to be in the 90th minute. He's waiting for players to push forward upfield, and the targets from where he is must look pretty small. Yellow shirts all around them. And Nketiah bumping and barging Van Dijk, who beat him. Little touch back towards Fabinho, and he's been caught, and Partey's going to be sent off.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, he's only been in the country for 9 hours, and he's got a red card. 2 yellows for Thomas Partey, an ignominious end to Arsenal's night, and he will now serve a suspension, and Arsenal are out. Liverpool will be able to get the job done with ease from here, and will go into stoppage time. They have a 2-goal lead against the 10 men of Arsenal, and that is job done. Partey leaves the field in frustration.
Yeah, I tell you, it's absolutely the right decision from Martin Atkinson, because Thomas Partey there is late getting to the ball, and his foot's raised, and it's on Fabinho's ankle. The Liverpool player back up on his feet, no problem, but well, there you go.
Here's Canate. Canate playing it forward. 5 minutes of added time. Ramsdale with a slight missed kick. Ended up working as a pass for Gabriel. Canate beating Saka. And Canate's fouled him. It's Nketiah, I beg your pardon. He's fouled him, and it's a free kick which will be taken on halfway by Arsenal, who just need to get the ball forward quickly. Hit and hope. White to Tierney. Tierney getting it away from Nico Williams, and then Minamino has caught him, and that's going to be a yellow card for the Japanese international.
Yeah, flurry of cards late on. A shame for Thomas Partey. He's just late in a couple of challenges. There's nothing overly malicious about them. I'm afraid Mr. Atkinson's absolutely right to give him a yellow and then another yellow. But look, Liverpool been the better team. Once they scored, once they settled down, once they then started to boss the ball a little bit, Arsenal always looked like they were a little short of ideas, never quite looked like they had enough to disrupt them, to break them down and eventually get themselves back in the game. And then, of course, a brilliant finish from Diogo Jota, sensational quality finish, has put the tie pretty much to bed.
Alexander-Arnold playing it forward, but it's deflected through towards Lokonga. Lokonga to Ødegaard. Now Bukayo Saka for Arsenal, chipping it out towards the left, where it's nicely brought down by Nketiah. Down towards Tierney. Tierney coming in off the left-hand touchline, back for Eddie Nketiah again, and Nketiah towards the edge of the box. And then as it's played back by Lokonga, he misses Tierney, and it'll drift out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Liverpool right-hand side belatedly by Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Liverpool will be off to Wembley. 2-0 they lead with 3 minutes of added time still to be played. The Arsenal end thinning out rapidly. Nobody has left from that Liverpool end away to our right-hand side. Enjoying the moment. Ben White winning it back for Arsenal from the throw. Fabinho, an excellent piece of play in the midfield, commanding that area and winning possession back. Here's Diogo Jota, who's on a hat-trick. Played out to the left-hand side for Robertson, back for Jota again. No thoughts of going for a third goal here for Liverpool. It's just maintaining possession. It's the name of the game. Konate, down towards Alexander-Arnold again. 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. Back for Konate once more. Jota working around the corner. He's been caught by White. Play goes on. Jota with an angry point of the finger. And nothing given. Tomiyasu turning away, trying to flick it past Fabinho, couldn't do so. Possession turned over. Nico Williams has made his way forward. Robertson finds him. Williams trying to let the ball run across his body. Arsenal intercepted, but Liverpool very quickly won it back.
Yeah, Robertson doing really well. Been impressed with him second half as well. His forward play's been excellent, and then extremely quick to recover and get back defensively. Sloppy ball there, mind.
Martinelli picks it up in the inside left channel, lays it back for Tierney. Tierney to Lokonga. Can the 10 men fashion an opportunity? Ødegaard and Nketiah making a straight run through the middle, and he just stretched but couldn't bring it down, and it drifts away, goes out for a goal kick, and that should see Liverpool win this by 2-0.
Yeah, look, big expectant night here in North London. You know, after the first leg, when Arsenal heroically battled bravely with 10, they celebrated with their fans up at Anfield. I said to Adrian on the night, I said, look, there's a long way to go. It was almost like they felt they'd 1 foot in the door at Wembley, when, quite frankly, they were a long way away from 1 foot in the door. And the better team are going through to the final. It has to be said.
And they're nearly there. About 35 seconds to go. Keller playing it out from the back for Konate, down towards Williams. Just waiting for Tierney to come in, and clear, goes out of play for another throw, which will be taken on this Liverpool right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold tiptoeing his way up the technical area. Mikel Arteta not even looking, just staring into space, straight out into the heart of the midfield. Kelleher gets it forward. Van Dijk, Jones, Fabinho, and that is that. It's the Liverpool fans that celebrate. They have got the job done and make it through to the League Cup final for the first time in 6 years. After a first leg in which it looked as though, by missing their chances, they might have missed the big chance. It didn't pan out that way at all. Arsenal hitting the bar in the early stages tonight, the better side in the opening 20 minutes. But as soon as Diogo Jota scored the goal, you always sensed that it would be Liverpool who made it through. And on one of the biggest nights of their season, Arsenal come up short. They end the night with 10 men again after Thomas Partey was dismissed, and they end the season again, or will end the season again, without silverware. Liverpool getting the job done tonight. They've won by 2-0. 2-0 winners on aggregate, and it's Liverpool against Chelsea in the 2022 League Cup final.